Hello, Telvani here, and today I thought I would share with you a slightly different take on a map science video. This is going to be a two-part series in which we take a look at Heist. And I'm going to be honest with you, I am not an avid door enjoyer. During the original Heist League, I ran easily 1,000 or more heists in the span of a few weeks. And while it was fun at the time, it kind of burnt me out on Heist for years. However, every league I hear from members of the cult of Heist, "Oh, it's so much money, I make such good currency doing this." So I figured it was time to give Heist another fair shake, and hopefully find out just how good it really is. So in this video, we'll be running a full tab of 144 deception contracts. This will allow us to stock up on blueprint reveals with both Wakano and Gianna. So in the next video, we can take a look at blueprints specifically. Alright, so we've got our 144 deception contracts here, and I've gone ahead and elked them and rolled off any of the bad modifiers, such as negative player resistance, cannot leech, and less life recovery. For our rogues, since we are running deception contracts exclusively, the only one we really care about gearing at the moment is Gianna. We have set her up pretty nicely, with a job speed and haste weapon, a job speed, quantity, and divination card brooch, a job speed, movement speed, alert level reduction, and ring cut reduction cloak, and most importantly, a +1 all jobs, deception speed, and Wakano reveal disguise kit. All of this should help us speed through these heists, maximizing our profits per hour. For our trinket, I am running something with quantity and divination chance. There's probably a better option out there, but this was like 10 chaos, and I figured you can't really go wrong with quantity. Next, let's take a look at our Atlas tree. Wait, we don't need one, since we're going to be mindlessly opening doors. Moving on, here you can see our expenses. We spent a little under 14 chaos on average per contract, for a total of 1,956 chaos. We then spent another 24 chaos elking them, and a further 75 chaos worth of supplies rolling off some of the bad modifiers. Finally, we will be using 3 chaos worth of rogues markers to start our very first contract. However, after that point, we should be able to sustain rogue markers from selling the heist target items. All of this brings our total expenses for this test to 2,058 chaos, or around 11.4 exalts at the current exchange rates. This averages out to be a little over 14 chaos per contract. I'm pretty skeptical as to how much profit we'll actually make off of this test. However, it is a necessary component to running the blueprints in our next test. But, as I have recorded this portion of the video, before running the contracts, we'll have to wait and see just how profitable contracts can be. I'm going to get to work zooming through these, and I'll see you on the flip side. Alright, I've run a few of these contracts now, and I figured it would probably help if I went over my gear and did a sample run for you guys. One thing to note here is that I am running Mage Blood with both a Quicksilver Flask and a Silver Flask to maximize my character speed. I've also dropped my rare chest in favor of a Queen of the Forest for even more movement speed. And because I'm running Queen of the Forest, I've also dropped my Wrath Aura and my Diamond Flask to run a Jade Flask and Grace. Heist is all about movement speed and staying alive. We don't really care that much about damage here. I'm sure there are further optimizations that could be made to speedrun Heist, but these were just a few easy changes that I could do relatively quickly. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and run a contract. First things first, we head over to Adia. If you control-click on her, it will skip all of her dialogue and allow us to directly put in a contract. So we throw in our contract, we select Gianna, and we're off to the races. As you can see, I'm ignoring armor rooms for the most part. They have a chance to drop semi-valuable fractured armor pieces, however most of the time you'll just get garbage items. The main room to look out for while doing deception contracts are the divination card rooms, as they will drop quite a few stacked decks. Unfortunately, we got unlucky during this sample run and didn't find any. I personally loot the Harbinger rooms as well, as they can drop Ancient Orbs and Exalted Shards. and I try to grab as many regular chests along the main path without completely filling the alert level. Once we grab the heist target item and lockdown is initiated, we just yeet out of the contract as quickly as possible. Hello again. I'm back from running all 144 of these contracts. And man, I've gotta say, that was some intense door clicking. I think I might have gotten my doctorate in door clicking just from running these heists. But without further ado, let's take a look at all the loot we received in-game before taking another look at our spreadsheet. Here you can see our included loot tab. We had over 180,000 rogue markers drop, nearly 600 stacked decks, over 100 raw chaos orbs, and 8 ancient orbs. We also had some various other currencies drop, as well as roughly an X worth of scarabs. Down here you can see we had nearly 3x drop during this test. 1 exalted orb dropped raw, and the other 1.95 came from exalted shards, which dropped from the Harbinger chests. We also had a few valuable divination cards drop. Nothing too exciting, just a few patient cards, an academic, and an enlightened. Finally, we had 3 divine orbs drop. 1 was a raw drop, and the other 2 from divination's 6-link turn-ins. Moving on, you can see our excluded loot here. We had a lot of junk drop. Mostly random divination cards and low-tier currencies, as well as some random uniques, essences, and maps. Technically, this stuff does have value. However, in the amount that we received, I wouldn't consider it viable for liquidation at this time. So I have excluded it from our calculations. Next, let's take a look at our spreadsheet. Our general loot from currencies, scarabs, and divination cards totaled up to be 1,140 chaos. The stacked decks are valued at just shy of 1,200 chaos, and the rogues markers we received for selling the heist target items totaled up to be another 725 chaos. This brings our total revenue up to just shy of 17x. After factoring in our 11.3 exalted orbs worth of expenses, we profited 5.45x in 144 contracts, or a rather disappointing 7 chaos per contract. While focused, each contract was taking me around 90 seconds to complete. So best case scenario, I was looking at around 40 contract completions per hour, or about 1.5x profit per hour. However, running these contracts, we did net 144 Gianna and 163 Wakano blueprint reveals, which are not factored into our profits here. All in all, I think these results are not too surprising, as going into this test, my expectation was that running contracts would be nearly break even, and that the big money in Heist would come from running the blueprints. Now that we have a fair number of reveals banked, we'll be able to see just how profitable blueprints are in the next test. Will Telvanni lose his sanity from infinite door clicking? Will the cult of Heist convert another member? And will the blueprints make up for the relatively low profits of this week's adventure? Tune in next time to find out. Anyway, thank you for watching, good luck with your league, and I'll see you in the next one.